walk with God in a way of the Spirit of God and not with dead religion and dead works, which is what I was really tied in with. Yeah, a lot of self-righteousness and like work-based mentality. There was just like hard moments that really like instilled like fear of God, but an unhealthy fear of God, and just like distrust. I had a lot of walls. I had a hard time trusting people, opening up. I like did not know how to be vulnerable because of different things that have happened. And when I was 11, that was a big turning point. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which is a chronic illness, and like so I'm in the hospital, lots of medication, lots of like, so like, you know, you need to give yourself like a shot every time you're eating. Just instilled like a fear of death and fear of dying, because in the hospital they'll be like, oh, like, you know, they're just worst case scenarios kind of a thing. I remember being 11, but like really having to come to terms with my like morality, the fact that I am gonna die, which really made me like go out to seek the Lord. I remember especially like this was a few years, like I think I was 13 at this time, and just really had just partnered with fear in such a way that it built like a deep stronghold in my mind, where I just convinced myself like I was gonna die, because at night my sugar would drop and I was like scared that one day I was not gonna wake up. But because of that, it like drove me into the secret place, where I would just spend like hours and hours seeking God, trying to figure out like it would be a lot of bargaining. It was like, Lord, let me live until like this month. Okay, Lord, we made it to this month, like give me one more month, like, which like seems ridiculous looking back, but it was real. Like the fear was very real. And I remember one time coming across this verse, because I'm reading the Bible, but there was a verse that if you try to save your life, you will lose it, and if you lose your life, you'll save it. So I've given my life to Jesus when I was like really young, but this time it was real. It was like, if I let go of this whole bargaining, like I in some sense was like taking control of my life. Like I wasn't in surrender, because I was scared of what would happen if I like trusted God enough to give it to Him, you know, things like that. And I remember just in that point having a breaking point and surrendering, and I felt like there was a turning point after that. I was 16. I came to a Soul to Teens Week, and that's where I encountered the love of the Father. I remember one time during worship just having a really, really hard time, and Irina had come up and like she saw I was struggling, and she just scooped me up and held me and loved on me. And in that moment I remember like just breaking down, and like something deep like broke within me, and like I was able to feel the love of the Father for like the first time in my life. And after that, like I knew things were going to be different. So no, God's been wild. But I think the biggest thing I would say is like be open. Like Doreen has this prayer where she says like, Lord, like, or I open every chamber of my heart before you, where there's no walls, there's no resistance, or even like preconceived notions about like who He is, what He does, what He likes, what He dislikes. But I don't know, like to be open with the Lord, like be receptive of His love. That's what I would say.
Una vez que coloqué mis ojos en ti, nada más me satisface, nada más me satisface.